Welcome to the Rise Together podcast weekly hot take series. Every week, we're going to bring you powerful stories and strategies from leaders who are making a real impact by building stronger, more resilient communities. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the tools to thrive in both your personal and professional life.
Hi, everybody. This is Beth Almaris with the Foundation for Family and Community Healing. At the Foundation, we really believe in helping individuals and other organizations build strength and resilience through skill-based education and leadership development. I'm excited to talk to our guest today. We have Erica Gill, who's calling in from Texas, and Erica is the Chief People Officer for Good Ranchers LLC. How you doing today, Erica?
Good, Beth. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So, if you're ready to get started, why don't you tell me a little bit about your company? It was new to me.
Yeah, so Good Ranchers, we've been around for 7 years. We are a direct-to-consumer meat subscription company. We really ensure that we have steakhouse quality meat that's upper choice and prime, and so all of our meat is very clean. It's a very clean product. We offer all four of the proteins. We have seafood, steak, chicken, and poultry, and we're just continuing to grow. I mean, we started off with just steak and chicken, and then have in the last 7 years just branched out into so many different avenues in the meat business, and we're just continuing to grow.
That's fantastic. And how many folks do you have at the company?
We have 55. We have 55 employees. When I first started 3 years ago, I was employee number 7, and so we have just had tremendous growth in the past couple of years, and just trying to keep that we don't want to stay small startup, but we want that small startup feel as we continue to grow.
Yeah, there is something special about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, did I see when I was looking you up, did I see that you used to be in education?
Yes. So I was in education for 14 years. I started off as a classroom teacher, always wanted to go into really the urban setting, urban education. I was in Houston for my first 6 years of teaching, loved it, loved elementary school. And then when I got my master's, I moved then into district coaching. I was coaching math teachers for 4 years. And then after that, it was like I really wanted to go back to the campus setting. Like I missed being a part of just one campus and making a difference there. And so I did. I was an assistant principal for 2 years, and then a principal, elementary school principal for 2 years before coming here.
And you made the big switch to HR. What has that been like?
Honestly, and I tell people, and I mean this, leading people is leading people. If you have a good foundation for leadership, whether you're doing it at an elementary school or in education or at in a corporate setting, those foundational pieces of how you lead, whichever way it is, you take that with you. Really having a solid foundation of coaching and development. And I just feel like along my path, I've learned so many successful lessons of how to lead people and what they need that I just brought with me. Like I had this toolkit. I think of it as like I had this toolkit that I'm continuing to sharpen, but I brought it all with me here. And I don't run it like an elementary school. I run it like a meat subscription company, but the leadership is the same.
Yeah, absolutely. My best friend made a very similar transition from classroom teacher to district wide to assistant principal and then principal. She did that for many years and recently left to go into training.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so it runs a training department for an organization. And
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I frankly think if you can run a school, there's pretty much nothing you can't do.
Yes. You're dealing with a lot of the same elements. I mean, and it's not even like, some people try to say like, oh, kids, it's just adult. No, like there's so much that goes into every aspect of leading a campus that
Absolutely.
the transition. And I have a lot of friends that went into training as well that know how to put together like a solid training program that also engages people and, checks for understanding, like all of the things we learned, you just bring it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. So, so we're really interested in health and well-being and leadership development. What are some things that your organization has in place to help employees in that arena?
We really try to keep our employees first because we know that happy employees will in turn be, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're a graphic designer, you're in customer experience, you are going to bring your full healed, happy self into whatever business you are doing in our organization. And so we really try to wrap around. We try to really have solid benefits that people feel comfortable and are able to provide for their family, as far as like health, medical, like all of that, right? Because I've been a part of organizations that will give you like the minimal package of health benefits that really you're spending half of your paycheck on your benefits, and we don't want that. And so we provide 75%, we cover 70% of our benefits, for our team members. We offer childcare reimbursements because we want our employees also to feel comfortable if they want to, have their children in daycare, that they can do that. And it's not this huge, burden on them. We're really big on work-life balance. We say we leave at 4 o'clock, turn Slack off, turn your emails off, go refresh, be with your family, be with your friends, whatever it is that refreshes you. We want you to be able to go do that so that when you come back to work, you're refreshed and you want to be here. And we make sure that we don't just say that, but we're texting people at 8 o'clock at night, but we really do hire people that believe that. When I interview anybody, whether it's a leader or whether it's just a team member, I let them know these are the values that we have. And one of them is hard work while you're here, but you can also turn it off and go be with your friends, take vacation, use your PTO, go, rock climbing if that's what you want to do. Whatever it is that you want to do, we want you to be able to refresh and come back and know that you're not giving everything to Good Ranchers. We always tell people, like, this should not be your number one. Yes. Is it important? Yes. Are we growing? Yes. Are we looking at KPIs and all? Yes. You're everything outside of this that is replenishing you and replenishing every part of your mind, body, spirit. That needs to be your number one. Then you can come and you can bring your best here to Good Ranchers, and you feel good doing that because you haven't made Good Ranchers number one and your family suffering, and
Yeah.
you're not doing things that you want to do.
That's really beautiful and a really good lesson for hopefully some folks out there that, really haven't been able to strike that balance either for themselves or for an organization that they're running or really high up in. Thank you for that.
And I've worked 12-hour days, so I know how you get caught up in it. And I didn't realize that there was a different way to do things, that you could put efficient systems in place so that the work does get done in that 8-hour window, and we're not wasting time here and having to work outside of it.
Yeah.
So I get it. And I didn't know any other 14 years in education. I remember my kids being with me in my classroom way past when they should have been there, but they grew up in the schools, and I didn't realize that, we could have done it different.
Yeah. Know better, do better, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I want to be able to provide that for our team.
That's great. So, what do you think are some of the challenges facing employees today?
I think we are there feels like a pendulum shift, honestly. Like moving from this like 10, 12-hour days, then moving now to after the pandemic, it was like, okay, there's hybrid and now we can do remote work, and there's all of these different shifts that I honestly feel like, and maybe it's just our organization, but we haven't yet mastered all of these
Mm.
because we were so far into this like work in office every day, 8 to 10, whatever it is. And then we have now shifted and we've realized like, oh, okay, things can be different, but we have team members that are under us, honestly, that we haven't figured it all out yet. And so they're coming up. Like I think about myself, I became as effective as my uh, mentor, as the principal that was over me when I was a AP, which were highly effective leaders. There's parts of the business now that we haven't yet mastered.
Mm.
And so what we're passing on is yet is I'll like for us, like we just haven't, there's just parts that we haven't yet mastered. And so that is what they're going to have to come up and figure out what's the new normal
Yeah.
for hybrid, remote, um, what the business looks like now in this age that we're in.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and I'm curious if the because we're having a really big pendulum swing here in DC, um, with people having to go back into the office 5 days a week, which um, so I don't know. Hopefully, there will be some happy medium that we'll find because I don't know that that's it. Um,
Right.
so I do think there is a lot more to figure out, but it's I think it's been kind of a rude awakening for folks having been given a bit of a taste of a little bit more balance, even just like when you live in a really urban area and a commute can be a real bear. Not having to commute 1 or 2 days a week can give you hours of your life back, hours of time with your family back, and to all of a sudden have that go again. I think people are feeling a little reactive to it.
And I feel like that reaction happened because we didn't have solid processes in place, and we had done it one way for so long that we just haven't. So I'm interested to see like what it's going to look like in even 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
Is it going to shift back to like now we have people in charge who always wanted the work from home, remote, hybrid situation? Are they ready for all of that?
Yeah.
So I really am interested to see
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
I very much think we're in yet another growing period,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure
Yeah.
out what are some of the trends you think are really going to be big in people management and human resources over the next few years.
I have seen more companies wrap around their employees like we have.
Hmm.
And even that, we haven't navigated enough. Like, what are the trends? I feel like, I've seen some trends as far as like childcare and even different um, different things that have come up that haven't in the past been something that we offer as benefits or perks of working at a, it's usually like 401k, medical, dental, all of these, like we're used to those. But I think moving forward, it's going to be more of wrapping around our employees and what are the needs that they have. Is it, I mean, there's so many different things that we could look at that those are going to be what draw people to a company. How flexible are you with coming into the office? I live an hour away, but I really want to be here. Am I able to be hybrid? Like these are going to be, I feel like trends that we're going to see moving now into where we're going versus like, do I offer 401k? That's going to be just baseline. Sure. But, and competitive pay, but what else? What else is there? Is there going to be flexibility? Is there going to be, different perks and benefits that you offer that the company over here, they do offer it or they don't offer it. I think those are going to be what people look at when they're looking at companies to work for.
Yeah. Well, because it speaks to the culture too, right? Like it speaks to the investment of spirit that companies have in their people and really seeing them as people and
Yeah.
recognizing, that it's more than just showing up to an office.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people now that are in the workforce that can do the work. Is this a place I want to do it at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. So, Erica, if folks want to learn more about you or your organization, how can they find you?
So I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me, Erica Gill. You can also go to goodranchers.com. That is if you want to learn about our meat subscription, you can go there. But you can definitely find me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for your time. And thanks to all our listeners. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today on our Rise Together podcast weekly hot take series. We hope you've been inspired by today's stories and strategies for building stronger, more resilient communities. Remember, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about growing through every challenge to become bigger and better. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with somebody who could benefit from these insights. Stay connected, stay resilient, and we'll see you next time.